Good morning, Dr. Y. Good morning, classmate. I'm Mrs. Cristina G. De La Cruz, teacher from the Anghari Elementary School, SDO Navotas. There are 4 applications of justice, and I am going to discuss the 2 of it: the commutative justice and distributive justice. What is commutative justice? According to Thomas Aquinas, commutative justice is precise and accurate. Commutative justice regulates the right of person towards one another in accordance with principle of equality and give and take. In commutative justice, people have inherent dignity and should respect the dignity of others. People should respect the consciences of others and honor the freedom requisite to live in conscience. Interpersonal relationships honor personal conscience through dialogue and mutual agreement. It requires that one may not take advantage of another person by violating his rights, say, to his life and interest. It requires that both parties receive exactly what they agreed to. In this way, the human dignity of everyone involved in the exchange is protected. For example, obliges a person to pay his debts or compels the employer to pay a just wage. Commutative justice, in a certain sense, is not personal. Example, consider what happens when you are clothes shopping. A pair of jeans costs the same whether you are a wealthy person or a poor person. The retailer does not make any distinction. The pair of jeans form the basis of your legal or contractual relationship with the retailer. Contracts and agreements of this nature are impersonal and blind. Commutative justice is the most fundamental form of justice in societies. Without it, all other forms of justice are impossible. There are common violations of commutative justice. It includes theft, fraud, and unjust damage to property or reputation. For example, if someone assaults you or steals from you, the reaction is a violation of commutative justice. You are the victim and they are the violator, and the crime is the assault or theft. Other example of violation in commutative justice: when families do not have the freedom to raise their children with the heritage of their culture. When people face economic destitution and resign to any wage so they can survive. When a person experiences sexual harassment. My second topic is about distributive justice. According to Aristotle, it's how work, wealth, rights, and so on are shared fairly within the community. It regulates the rights of the person as member of the community. Since the members of community are not equally situated, whether morally or economically, it is the responsibility of the community to determine the proportionate share of each members in the privileges, aids, burdens, and obligation towards community. Distributive justice is a concept that addresses the ownership of goods in a society. It's assumed that there is a large amount of fairness in the distribution of goods. Equal work should provide individual with an equal outcome in terms of good acquired or the ability to acquire goods. Distributive justice concerns the nature of socially just allocation of goods in a society. A society in which incidental inequalities in outcome do not arise would be considered a society guided by the principles of distributive justice. The concept includes the available quantities of goods, the process by which goods are to be distributed, and the resulting allocation of the goods to the members of society. In social psychology, distributive justice defined as perceived fairness of how rewards and costs are shared by group members. For example, when workers of the same job are paid different salaries, group members may feel that the distributive justice does not occur. Distributive justice is also known as economic justice. It's about the fairness in what people receive from goods to attention. Its roots are in social order, and it is the root of humanism, where equality is fundamental principle. Distributive justice involves the fulfillment of positive liberties, which are often costly. For example, healthcare is a positive liberty. If someone dies of a treatable disease, that is a violation of distributive justice. However, no individual is directly responsible for the violation, and no rules need be violated. If someone involuntarily starves, it is possible no one at all will be arrested for that violation of their rights. Distributive justice also have its weaknesses. Example: ignore other rights such as inheritance. Practically ignores individual efforts and discourages differences. And that's all about my report. Thank you and keep safe, everyone.